The Senate will come to order. I ask everyone present to please rise and repeat with me the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The invocation today will be delivered by Father Peter Young of Mother Teresa Church in Albany. Father Young.
Thank you very much, Governor. Thank you. Let us pray. God, you never fail to provide our New York State citizens with dedicated senators. May God pour forth this blessing on your legislative effort and provide you with the courage to accept the many demands of your elected office. As senators, you reported on this day of the session bell to hear one another for the benefit of our New York State constituents. This invocation calls us to be true to our best at what we might become as a legislative leader. We need to heed the call of our own hearts with compassion and equity for our dear citizens of the Empire, great state. Amen.
Senator DeFrancisco.
President, I would request that you call for a moment of silence to recognize Assembly Member Barbara Clark, who passed away this past week.
Thank you, Floor Leader. I'll call for a moment of silence in honor of Barbara Clark, who passed away this week. Thank you. The reading of the journal.
In Senate, Tuesday, February 23rd, the Senate met pursuant to adjournment. The journal of Monday, February 22nd was read and approved. On motion, Senate adjourned.
Without objection, the journal stands as approved as read. Presentation of petitions, messages from the Assembly. Let's see. Secretary will read.
Senator Croce moved to discharge from the Committee on Rules Assembly Bill number 9173 and substitute with the identical Senate Bill 6428, third reading calendar 31. Senator Marchone moved to discharge from the Committee on Rules Assembly Bill number 9172 and substitute with the identical Senate Bill number 6382A, third reading calendar 13.
Substitution so ordered. Messages from the Governor. Reports of standing committees. Reports of select committees. Communications and report from state officers. Motions and resolutions. Mr. Floor Leader.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I move that the following bills be discharged from their respective committees and be recommitted with instructions to strike the enacting clause. These are all Senator Marchone's bills: 3534, 3535, 3536, 6089A.
So ordered.
I now move that the following bills of Senator Boyle be discharged from the respective committees and be recommitted with instructions to strike the enacting clause. Bill numbers 1271 and 5915.
So ordered.
I also move that the following bill by Senator Griffo be discharged from its respective committee and be recommitted with instructions to strike the enacting clause. That's Senate Bill number 4323.
So ordered.
Similarly, I move that the following bill be of Senator DeFrancisco be discharged from its respective committee and be recommitted with instructions to strike the enacting clause 4003.
Okay. So ordered.
Next, Madam President, on page number 17, I offer the following amendments to calendar number 96. That's Senate Bill number 5951 by Senator Murphy, and ask that said bill retain its place on the third reading calendar.
So ordered.
Next, on page 19, I offer the following amendments to calendar number 124, Senator Ritchie's bill number 518, and ask that said bill retain its place on the third reading calendar.
So ordered.
And lastly, on page number 20, I offer the following amendments to calendar number 130, Senator Funke's bill, Senate Bill number 6370, and ask that said bill retain its place on the third reading calendar.
So ordered. The floor leader.
Madam President, if we could now take up a previously adopted resolution, number 3102 by Senator Golden, and if you please read the title only.
Secretary will read.
Legislative Resolution Number 3102 by Senator Golden, memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim September 2016 as Kinship Care Month in the state of New York.
Senator Golden.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a number of kinship caregivers up here in our audience today, and it's estimated that 3% of all children in the state are being raised by a non-parent relative. In fact, 25% of all children in foster care system are in kinship care. Sometimes a parent of a minor child has voluntarily relinquished custody of the child to relatives. Sometimes a parent is just not able to care for his or her own child. Whatever the instant or reason, these relatives step up and raise their children as their own. They do the right thing. Children need safety, stability, nurturing in their lives, and so that they can grow into productive members of society. By allowing children to be cared for and raised by relatives who already know them, love them, and want what's best for them, is in the children's best interest. Having an opportunity to live and to be raised in a caring, loving, and familiar environment helps these kids flourish, which is what we all want for all children. These selfless, dedicated caregivers and advocates are to be recognized and honored for their tireless commitment to their vulnerable children and to our valuable children. We have one lady up there, Mrs. Fountain. She not only lost her daughter, adopted 4 of her kids, but 2 of her children died from Duchenne muscular dystrophy. She had to go through that pain, and she did that all by herself. It's a credit to what she's been able to do and other mothers and fathers that have done the same thing across this great state and this great nation. So therefore, once again, I am extremely proud to carry this resolution on behalf of all of our kinship caregivers out there and designating this September as the Caregiver Care Month in the state of New York. Congratulations to each and every one of them, and thank you for your dedication and for your love for your children and for the children's children. God bless you all.
Thank you, Senator. Floor leader.
President, Senator Golden would like to open up this resolution for co-sponsorship, and if someone does not want to be on the resolution as co-sponsor, they should notify the desk. Otherwise, we will all be on.
The resolution is open for co-sponsorship. If you do not wish to be a co-sponsor, please notify the desk.
Next,
Floor
if you
leader.
could please take up previously adopted Resolution 3562 by Senator Espaillat, read the title only, and recognize Senator Espaillat.
Secretary will read.
Legislative Resolution Number 3562 by Senator Espaillat, memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim February 2016 as Dominican Heritage Month in the state of New York.
Senator Espaillat.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to recognize the presence of a good delegation that's here in celebration not only of Dominican Heritage Month, as we adopted the resolution before we went on break, but also advocating for the livery industry in the state and the city of New York. And with us we have several members that are leaders and former leaders of that industry right here in chambers, including Ms. Cira Angeles, who is a co-founder of LA Riverside Brokerage Incorporation and who has led the industry in matters of insurance, the green cards, and other important issues to that industry. In addition, we have a former ambassador to Japan, and former leader in this industry, Mr. Jamie Vargas, who's with us today in chambers. He was a strong advocate for the industry way before I got here over 2 decades ago, and continues to be a strong voice for the men and women of the livery industry, as well as posthumously we're honoring Mr. Claudio Osoria. He was number 22. You know, when you call a base, you ask for the number of the vehicle, or they give you the number. They dispatch that number, and he was known as Mr. 22, number 22, and he passed recently, and he's being represented by Bienvenido de Jesus, former president of Siemens Car Dispatch and Radio Service. In addition to those 3 leaders from the livery industry, we have a distinguished member of the State Department of Education. Her name is Angelica Infante, and she is the Deputy Commissioner for the Department of Education, and one that's in charge not only of bilingual education, but of Common Core and other issues that are of great relevancy to the children in the state of New York. So we're happy to have Ms. Infante here with us today. And we have in the gallery a healthy delegation of the livery drivers and owners, including Mr. Damian Rodriguez, who's the Executive Director of the Livery Base Owners Association. So they're here. We want you to extend them the courtesies of this house and to welcome them here to the capital city of Albany. They are the people that make New York move, to run. They drive vehicles and transport our families all over the counties across the state of New York. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator. Mr. Floor Leader. We welcome them to the House. Mr. Floor Leader.
Senator Espaillat has also requested that we open this up for co-sponsorship, and if you do not want to be on, notify the desk. If you do nothing, you will be on as a co-sponsor to honor these fine people.
The resolution is open for co-sponsorship. If you do not wish to be a co-sponsor, please notify the desk. Mr. Floor Leader.
I would like to now call an immediate meeting of the Rules Committee with one admonition. Please, everyone, walk from here to there without interruption so we can start as soon as we can to get back to session. I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Immediate meeting of the Rules Committee in room 332 of the Capitol. The Senate will stand at ease.
Senator will come to order. Senator DeFrancisco.
Yes, I understand there's a report for the Rules Committee at the desk.
Yes, there is.
I move to accept the report of the Rules Committee.
Reports of standing committees, the Secretary will read.
Senator Flanagan from the Committee on Rules reports the following bills. Senate Print 224 by Senator Laval, an act to amend the education law. Senate 627 by Senator Valesky, an act to amend the general business law. Senate 965 by Senator Montgomery, an act to amend the education law. Senate 1796A by Senator Ritchie, an act to amend the education law. Senate 3243 by Senator Savino, an act to amend the penal law. The Senate 6503 by Senator Marcelino, an act to amend the education law. All bills reported direct to third reading.
Senator DeFrancisco.
Yes, I would now request the non-controversial reading of today's calendar.
Can we have a motion to accept it? Senator DeFrancisco.
On the Rules Committee, yes, I move to accept the report of the Rules Committee.
All in favor of accepting the report of the Rules Committee signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The report is accepted. Mr. Floor Leader.
Yes, now would you please do the non-controversial reading of the today's calendar?
The Secretary will read.
Calendar number 6 by Senator Griffo, Senate Print 2722D, an act to amend the legislative law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act should take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young.
Announce the result.
In relation to calendar number 6, those recorded the negative are Senators Espaillat, Hoylman, Perkins, Persaud, Rivera, Savino, and Squadron. Ayes 52, nays 7.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 13 by member of the Assembly to Tone, Assembly Print 9172, enact amend the state law.
Read the last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect in the same date and same manner as chapter laws of 2015.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 59.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 23 by Senator Little, Senate Print 6392A, enact amend the insurance law.
Read the last section.
Section 6 of the statute take effect in the same date and same manner as the chapters of the laws of 2015.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 59.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 26 by Senator Seward, Senate Print 6395A, enact amend the insurance law.
Read the last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect in the same date and same manner as the chapter laws of 2015.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 57, nays 2. Senators Kruger and Perkins recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 30 by Senator Ritchie, Senate Print 6399A, enact amend chapter laws of 2015.
Read the last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect on the same date and same manner as chapter laws of 2015.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 59.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 31 by member of the Assembly Kaminsky, Assembly Print 9173, enact amend the executive law.
Read the last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect in the same date and same manner as the chapter laws of 2015.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 59.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 32 by Senator Funky, Senate Print 6421A, enact amend the public health law.
Read the last section.
Section 5 of the statute take effect in the same date and same manner as the chapters of the laws of 2015.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 59.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 34 by Senator Ranzanoff for Senate Print 6423A, enact amend the real property tax law.
Read the last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect in the same date and same manner as the chapter of the laws of 2015.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 59.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 40 by Senator Seward, Senate Print 6429A, enact amend the insurance law.
Read the last section.
Section 5 of the statute take effect in the same date and same manner as the chapter of the laws of 2015.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 59.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 45 by Senator Carlucci, Senate Print 6228, enact amend Lawrence law.
Read the last section.
Section 2 of the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young.
Senator Carlucci.
Mr. President, right now in New York State, over 10,000 men, women, and children are currently waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. And unfortunately, in New York State, we lag behind almost every other state in the nation when it comes to the percentage of people enrolled in the organ donor program or the organ donor registry. 5 years ago, I had the good fortune of meeting Lauren Shields. Lauren Shields is with us here today, and at that time, it was just a year after she had received a heart transplant. She had spent 15 days on life support at the age of 9, desperately waiting for a heart transplant. When I had the opportunity to meet her, we were talking about ways that we could make a difference, that we could turn things around here in New York State and make sure that we're giving people the opportunity that Lauren has had. So what did we do? We looked at what were other states doing, what was going on in New York State that we had such a low percentage of people enrolled in the organ donor registry. So we created Lauren's Law, where now when you go to the Department of Motor Vehicles, when you get your driver's license, you're asked the question, would you like to be an organ donor, yes or not at this time? And basically mandating that people make that decision. Since October 3rd of 2013, when this law took effect, we've had amendments to it since then, thanks to the work of Senator Hannan, the commitment that Senator Flanagan has had towards making sure that organ donation is a priority in this chamber and in New York State, we've started to make a difference. And in fact, we've changed the numbers. When we started this crusade, we started at 11%. 11% of the people were enrolled in the registry. We've changed that. Now we're talking about a 17% rate. Now, it might not sound big, but that's actually a 60% increase. And to put it into perspective in terms of numbers, thank you, Mr. President. When we look at the numbers, going from 11% to 17%, in the past 3 months alone, we had an additional 50,000 people enroll because of Lauren's Law. And in fact, going forward, by extending Lauren's Law, we've done the math and we see the projections at the Department of Motor Vehicles. They're predicting that over the next 4 years, each year, we're going to have over 2 million people visiting the DMV to enroll in the driver's license program or renew their driver's license, give us 2 million opportunities a year to ask that question. From doing the math with Lauren's Law, we predict that we'll be able to register another 560,000 people over the next 4 years. So I want to thank Lauren Shields because without her, this law wouldn't be possible. You know, 5 years ago when we took on this challenge, we hit all types of resistance, all the reasons why we can't change the law. Working together with the members in this Senate and in the Assembly, we found a way forward and we're making a difference. So I ask my colleagues to support this legislation. Let's not turn back on progress. We have an opportunity to save lives, and we're going to continue to do that. So I'll be voting in the affirmative and want to thank my colleagues for making this a reality. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Carlucci, you vote in the affirmative. Senator Flanagan.
Thank you, Mr. President. And thank you to Senator Carlucci. I want to add my voice, and I'm clearly going to vote in the affirmative on this piece of legislation. I also want to thank Senator Hannan, who has been extraordinarily helpful in raising awareness on these issues. And Lauren, it's nice to have you here today. Would you just stand up so everyone can say hello and wish you a good welcome? Really nice to see you here. And I got a chance to do a little reading. It's fascinating when you can learn about people. Obviously, Lauren had a heart transplant at 9, now a very good student at the age of 15. And you know you're doing pretty well when on your resume you can say, yeah, I spoke at St. Patrick's Cathedral. That's got to be pretty cool. Spoke at the Columbia Leadership Summit, is involved in a wide variety of local organizations. And ladies and gentlemen, this is absolute living proof of how you can save somebody's life. Someone was nice enough and good enough, smart enough to become an organ donor that allows you to be here with us today. So what I think we can do, not only in terms of the work of Senator Carlucci and Senator Hannan, is frankly just talk about this. I'm doing it almost every place I go now. And Senator Carlucci is spot on. As progressive as we are in the state of New York, we're dead last. That's not a distinction we should have. It's bad enough if we have it on tax policy or something like that. But in an area like this, we can make a huge difference. And you can do it through the bone marrow registry as well. So I just want to add my voice and clearly want to always mention Assemblyman Jim Conte, who is a double kidney transplant recipient, a real strong advocate in this area. And we all have personal stories. A gentleman who works for me, Ray Bernardo, is my chief of staff. His sister-in-law, Sue Bernardo, now 11 years, heart and double lung at the same time. She's leading a very full life. So to my colleagues, when you can, raise this issue. Just raising awareness makes all the difference in the world. Again, Senator Carlucci, congratulations, but more importantly, to Lauren, keep up the excellent work. You're doing fantastic. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Flanagan. Senator Squadron.
Senator Carlucci and Leader Flanagan for this. Lauren, I want to thank you for being here. In the context of what Senator Flanagan talked about, every donor saves lives. I had a relative decades ago who was one of the first heart-lung transplant recipients with cystic fibrosis in this country's history. Her life was extended as a result of it, tragically not as long as we would have liked. And today I have a sister living a healthy life who was in kidney failure for over a year until a donor in the state of Illinois walked into a hospital and said, I want to donate my kidney, and started off a chain. I think there were 15 recipients around the country in that chain, and my sister was one of them. The fact that there are people dying, waiting for organs that could save their lives is a tragedy. It is solvable, as the leader says, and every one of our stories and the millions of stories around the state, and Lauren, your story, is a great inspiration and a reminder that in a very small way, we can make enormous, enormous change in people's lives. And so I thank you for being here, and Senator Carlucci, I thank you for that. As you point out, every percent is scores of lives saved. Thank you. I vote aye.
Thank you, Senator Squadron. You're voting in the affirmative. Senator Peralta?
I also want to thank the sponsor, Senator Carlucci. This is a very important issue, as the leader pointed out. I've actually gotten involved in organ donations because of the fact that I realized, and we did some research, that we are last in the state when it comes to people who are registered to give up or donate an organ. And that's sad, especially when we talk about New York, where we are progressives and we're usually the first to lead the way, and we're usually ahead of the curve when it comes to issues that matter. So it is so important for people to really participate and help others. And why not in this way? Eliminate the fears that some people may have of what it means to be an organ donor. I know some people, when I went through, when I had started this campaign, some people approached me and they said, well, what's going to happen if I'm laying in bed, or I check off that I'm going to be an organ donor and I'm laying in bed in the hospital? Are the doctors really not going to take care of me because they want that organ? These are all myths that are out there. And when it comes to culture as well, people are afraid. They don't want to talk about certain things that brings fear into their hearts. But this is very important to have an extension of an additional 4 years. Will save so many lives. So many people have approached me since I've started the campaign, and I'm going to be very supportive of not only just this bill, but many others to come, because organ donation is a necessity in the state of New York, and we need to do so much more to make sure that it becomes mainstream so that everyone talks about organ donations, and it's not a myth, it's not a taboo topic that people may not want to talk about. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator Peralta. You're voting in the affirmative. Senator Marcelino?
We're talking about organ donation. That's an extremely important topic, but how do people know? Very simple way that you can let people know that you want to be an organ donor. We all have driver's licenses. All you have to do is, when you sign up for your driver's license, when you go get it, tell them, check off the box, they'll print out a license. It'll have a little heart under the phrase organ donor. So speed is important, to let them know that your organ is available if something unfortunate happens to you. But we don't want to waste time in getting the word out that there are organs available to be donated. Get a driver's license, put your heart in the right place, put your name on that list, and put it here so people know right away that something is available for someone who may need that help. You do a good thing. Thank you. I'll vote aye, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Marcelino, you're voting in the affirmative. Senator Panapinto?
Yes, I want to thank Senator Carlucci for putting this bill forward. It's a bill that's near and dear to my heart. A great friend of mine, Michael Licurdo, was a Delaware District Council from the city of Buffalo, and he's with us today because he had a heart liver transplant 20 years ago, and it's people making themselves available and giving of themselves that have given him the opportunity to be with us for the last 20 years. And to extend this law 4 years on the registration will provide other people with these needed opportunities. And I want to thank the senator and thank the young lady for putting herself out there like this. And I'm voting in the affirmative.
Senator Panapinto, you'll be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 59.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 72 by Senator Golden, Senate Print 1074A, enacted on the real property tax law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 59.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 73 by Senator Marcelino, Senate Print 410, enacted on the agricultural markets law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect on the 1st of November.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 58, nays 1. Senator Montgomery recorded in the negative.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 75 by Senator Ort, Senate Print 3117, enacted on the agricultural markets law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young.
Announce the result.
Ayes 56, nays 3. Senators Avella, Espaillat, and Hoylman recorded in the negative.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 77 by Senator Hannan, Senate Print 1641, enactment of the public health law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 59.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 120 by Senator Croce, Senate Print 6361,
Read
enact
the-
granting.
Read the last section.
Section 2, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 58, nays 1. Senator Bonasek recorded in the negative.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 146 by Senator Seward, Senate Print 6694, enactment of the insurance law.
Read the last section.
Section 8, the statute take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Flanagan, Klein, Stewart, Cousins, Young. Ayes 59.
Bill is passed. Senator DeFrancisco, that completes the non-controversial reading of the calendar.
Is there any other further business at the desk?
No further business.
That being the case, I move to adjourn until Thursday, February 25th at 11 a.m.
On motion, the Senate stands adjourned until Thursday, February 25th at 11 a.m.